there
The last speech of the evening. The stage is yours.
Thanks
Welcome.
very much. All right. Hello, everybody. I know it's the end of the day. Maybe we're tired. You want the party to start already. I know. I will try to be as fast as possible, but still give the information because I think this is very important information. A lot of this actually is similar to what Kevin was talking about. It's not the same, but it's along the same kind of mindset and how we need to think about selling in 2025. And today I'm going to be talking about being focused on the customer. This is not going to be 100% about helium-10. Almost nothing I'm talking about helium-10 until the end. But it's talking about how to have the right mindset and remember what's important, even though there's so many things that are changing every day on Amazon. So one thing that's important to remember is Amazon is completely obsessed about the customers. Everything that Amazon does, is it because Amazon is very concerned about the sellers? They care about you and me? Not so much. They care about the customers, the people who are buying on Amazon. Everything they do, a new fee, a new kind of inbound placement, anything they do, rules, regulations, it has to do with how they can serve the customer better. So if we, as sellers, are thinking like that, we're going to be on the same page as Amazon. Now, this is something I like to show. This is from the Amazon website. Maybe you've heard of Amazon's famous leadership principles from Jeff Bezos, what all of their managers, what they have to study. What is the #1 leadership principle at Amazon? It says customer obsession. Leaders start with the customer and work backwards. They work, oh my God, that's light. They work vigorously to earn and keep customer trust. Although leaders pay attention to competitors, they obsess over customers. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. How can we as sellers obsess over the customers? There's many different ways. Today I'm only going to talk about 2 or 3 different ways, and then I'm going to show some kind of hacky strategies that can help you do that. One thing to always remember, Amazon is changing all the time. Who remembers this? How many people have been selling on Amazon more than 7 years or 6 years, 8 years? Okay, it's very few. Most of you don't know that before you could give away free product to get a review. Everybody did. Some of you guys do that. Some of you did it before, right? It was completely fine, no problem. And then one day, no more. You cannot give away product to have a free review, free product for a review. And so this was a podcast that the founder of Helium-10, Manny Coates, and Kevin King did, emergency podcast. This changed everything about the strategies. Here is something from this year. It says, the end of Amazon SEO, how AI search is going to change everything. AI is changing a lot of things, but now this is on sellers' minds. Another big change at Amazon. This was just a few weeks ago. I don't know about how it is in Germany, but in Amazon USA, there's new rules about the length of a title. You also can't repeat a keyword 3 times in a title. Another change, a few weeks ago, or this week, actually this was yesterday, FBA shipment change, another way to charge sellers just happened this week. And then fees are completely different. Those of you who are in Europe, you haven't had too many fee changes, but in America, oh my God. If you're selling in America, you know how many different fees there are that are new. Every day, something is changing on Amazon. But this is why I'm talking about, there is a way where it doesn't matter what Amazon changes. If you stay focused on the customer, everything else will take care of itself. Now, what does it mean to be hyper-focused, super focused on the customer? We're going to talk about a couple of ways. Now, I have talked before about unique brand story and strategy, and using this example, maybe you've seen many people talk about this example. Has anybody heard of this brand? I've used this many times, many people do. Liquid Death. What is this? Is this beer? What is it? Water. All right, now, I know it's a little bit different. In Germany, I guess you can drink the water from the tap, from the faucet. I hope so. I was drinking the water from the bathroom last night. I hope that's okay. Maybe that's why I don't feel too good today. But in America, we can't drink the water. You have to have filtered water or bottled water. And so this company was like, let's make water look like beer. But it's only water, but it's in a can. This company became a $1.5 billion company. Now here's the thing. I've used this example. I've seen many people talk about it. Maybe some of us here were like, what does this have to do with me? I am not going to make a $1.5 billion company. I am not going to invent a new way to drink water or milk or something like that. So I want to talk about a personal example here, all right? This also does not have anything to do with Amazon, but it helps to understand the psychology of who? Of customers, all right? This is me when I was 18 years old, all right? I never spent much on pants. This is maybe $10 from Walmart. By the way, that's my mother. She's Filipina. That's why I have a Filipino shirt here. That's my father, my grandmother. $10 pants. I also wear funny pants sometimes before. I used to be a Zumba dancer, and so I would wear crazy $10 sweatpants. I didn't care about pants at all. Even I'm trying to take serious pictures when I was more skinny. This is my most expensive pants before, maybe $50 from Abercrombie & Fitch. In my entire life, maybe I've spent $400, $500 on pants in over 40 years. Pants have never been that interesting to me, or I feel like I have to be fashionable. But December 1st, I remember the date, I saw, just scrolling one night on Instagram Reels, I saw this video. Let's watch it. Oh wait, hold on, one more. This is my last pants I bought. This is from my Amazon, $44. Almost maybe the most expensive pants I bought. All right, that was March 26th. But then I watched this video. Here we go.
This is the only luxury item worth buying in Japan, because it's literally impossible to copy. Momotaro's Japanese denim starts with Zimbabwe cotton and then is dyed with special fermented indigo leaves, giving them their signature Tokono blue color. They're then spun on some of the last existing vintage power looms. These looms are manually adjusted by craftsmen purely based on the sounds that these looms make. That denim then ends up with master seamstress Takebayashi-san to hand stitch the jeans together. But I think the craziest part is the fact that these jeans are meant to be used and abused. When you buy a pair, you get a special card, along with instructions on how to take care of them. This card comes with a unique number on the back, which means if your jeans break, you ship your jeans with this card back to the factory for Takebayashi-san to repair, sometimes at no cost at all. Over time, the color of the jeans will fade, giving it a one-of-a-kind look. This dedication to a durable product and expert craftsmanship is so rare to find these days. So these jeans, to me, are pretty irreplaceable, which is why I say...
Okay, now, this video, for me, it mesmerized me. I was like, wow. This is so fascinating. I have a lot of connection with Japanese culture too. I used to live in Japan when I was younger. But this video, I watched it over and over again. I was like, wow, this is so interesting. Jeans, they're handmade. So interesting. So what I did after that, I started looking online for these jeans. What is this company about? Now, something interesting, that was not a paid ad. It was not a paid ad. This guy had no links to Momotaro. They didn't even have a link to the website or anything. This is just a guy who talks about Japanese culture, and he lives in Japan. I didn't even follow him. It just was in my feed. Look at, I don't know if you can see. Do you see the price of these jeans? $335 for somebody who only pays $10, $20 for jeans. All right, so I was like, wow. This is interesting. I want to maybe know more about it. And I just happened to go 3 weeks later to Japan on a business trip. This was just 3 weeks ago. This is a brand new experience, okay? And I went to the Momotaro jeans store in Tokyo. And what did I do? I tried things on. I ended up buying 2 jeans for myself, 1 for my son. More than $1,000 I spent. You want to see how the jeans look? Do we have some music we can play? Some music? You guys didn't have the song ready? I guess they were supposed to play a song. I was going to do a model walk and everything. They didn't have it ready. Okay, these are the jeans.
I'm too sexy for my love.
All right, $335 jeans.
Going to leave.
Now, all right, no more music. You missed the spot. It's too late now. You missed the moment. The timing is everything, right? Sound is everything. All right. Now, here's the question. Why is such a cheap person like me spending more on jeans in one trip to a mall than in the last 20 years of my life? Why would I do something like that? The brand story just captivated me. There was perceived quality. Perceived means I thought it was high quality. I couldn't tell, but looking at the video, it seemed like this was really good quality. And then actual quality. When I got to the store, I tried it on. I'm like, oh, this feels good. This is nice. I've never had jeans like this. I feel like I have a nice butt. It was amazing, these jeans. Okay? So that was the actual quality. Now, you might be thinking, hey, this is not an Amazon example. That's true. This company, Momotaro Jeans, they're not on Amazon. But my point in bringing this out, first of all, it's a personal experience. This isn't somebody else. This is me. Somebody who is so cheap was won over to buy $1,000 worth of jeans. All of you probably have something like that. Those of you maybe who always try to buy one brand of car, only Mercedes or only BMW. Maybe you always buy in the store one brand of toilet paper to wipe. Only like one brand. Maybe it's the same brand of milk. Think about it. I bet all of you can think of one brand. Hey, I only buy Nike shoes. I only buy Adidas shoes. All of us have that. And so the question is, why don't we think as Amazon sellers, how can we give that experience, make something so interesting in our brand story that even just random people on Instagram, they're gonna talk about our product. Can this happen for all products? Probably not. Of course not, all right? But we have to at least think, is it possible that there's something interesting about my story that I can convince people to organically talk about my product and to convince people who would never have bought this product in their life before, and now they go to Japan and spend $1,000. It's possible. It happened to me. It can happen to your customers. So again, that wasn't an Amazon example. Here's something, again, a personal experience. Somebody I know, all right? Here is my warehouse, behind my house. Behind my house, I have a small warehouse. I pay my family to ship things for some Amazon sellers it's kind of like my own 3PL. So this is just one day. This is just a couple weeks ago, one day shipment. This is only one client. Every day, we are packaging 350 to 500 orders for one customer. This is separate from what he's selling FBA. This is only what is left over for TikTok Shop and also FBM. Now, what is the product that he sells? How can he sell 350 units? Here's the product. This is I know it's hard to see. It's a kind of like a workbook for practicing your handwriting, all right? Now, his brand is selling only about $90,000 a month. He does at least $1 million a year on Amazon. On TikTok Shop in USA, he has sold only 1 year about $5 million, this kind of product. So now you might be thinking, why? How can he sell so much? This is a real person. I know him personally. We hang out at conferences. This is not some big billion-dollar brand. He has only been selling on Amazon not even 2 years, less than 2 years, doing millions of dollars. So his price, maybe you think, oh, he has got a lot of reviews. No, he only has 70 reviews. He has a low price. Oh, we don't know this market. Is $34 a low price? Let's take a look. First of all, this is the main keywords driving his sales. You might think, oh, he's dominating because he has so much SEO. The keywords that are more than 500 search volume, and he is ranked 1 to 7, this is it. 9 keywords, $1 million he's selling. So is his Specialty, the amazing helium-10 keyword research? No, helium-10 is amazing, I'm sorry to say, but that is not the reason for his success. He only is ranked high for 9 keywords. Here is the competition on the main keyword. Is he the cheapest? You remember, his price is $34. Is he the cheapest and maybe everybody is slow shipping? No, this is $20, $24, $20. Here is Amazon. He's competing with Amazon, $3, $6. His is $34. Notice how nobody on these amazing sellers here, does any of them have Amazon's choice? Who has Amazon's choice? His product is the Amazon's choice, even though it's the most expensive almost. And he's just a regular seller. It's not sold by Amazon. So how is he able to have this success? Here is the brand owner. It's a husband and wife couple. Here is an Instagram post. They really focus on their brand story. Here she talks about, hey, I used to be a teacher. This is, my passion. This is why I made this company. This post got tens of thousands of likes. Here is their storefront, beautiful storefront. All right, not just products thrown together. It shows all of their products. It shows customer testimonials. The other competitors on Amazon are not doing that. Here is the key though. Here is just one of the almost 1,000 videos that their customers have posted. Their customers and their influencers have posted about their product. So this is not their video. This is a customer who made this video.
Let's talk about one of my favorites, Graceful by Design. I'm always on the hunt for fun homeschool activities that encourage learning and are not monotonous. Graceful by Design is made by a former teacher and homeschool mom herself. My kids really enjoy the handwriting and cursive books. Charlie is loving these viral grooved workbooks. With magic ink that disappears on its own. Don't touch me. She's building confidence and enjoying herself. It's been fun to see her improvement. With loads of educational material packed inside of these adorable workbooks, reminding us that homeschool is fun. Not just for kids, she also has an amazing homeschool planner.
So this was a video, this was just filmed with a phone by a customer, not a professional vlogger or something like that. This was just a mother who has a few kids who all love a lot of their products. Hundreds of videos like this are there. Again, they made a product, they made a brand story that resonated with customers and made them want to make videos about it. And even if they're paid to do it by the TikTok influencer program, it's hard to get 1,000 people to make videos. Even if you try to pay people, it's not going to work. This video by itself has over 200,000 views that they didn't pay for. They didn't pay for it. Now, maybe this lady is getting affiliate commission on TikTok, not on this video. This video was actually from Instagram. There was no link in this video. So again, think about it. Can you make a brand story? Can you make something that inspires people to promote your product for you? Even if you're not the cheapest product. Don't think, oh, you have to compete with all the Chinese sellers who have the low price, or it's impossible to compete with Amazon on products. No, they have showed this is a real example of a new Amazon seller who is having this kind of success. Now, other ways to focus on the customer. Here's somebody talked earlier about Dubai chocolate, all right? So when this first came out, this product in 30 days did $150,000. Now, if you were going to go sell Dubai chocolate, one of the things that you should do, hey, look at the reviews. This is not new. For 7 years, everybody has talked about look at the reviews of the products. Now, something that is new is there's AI summaries. But don't just use an AI tool or even Amazon. Notice here, there's not much interesting information here. It says, customers like the taste of the chocolate candy. They mention it's tasty. They like the smoothness. Some customers feel the product is not worth the money. Opinions differ on meltability. Is there something I can use? There's nothing I can use there. Nothing interesting. So I take a step further. Use Helium 10 Review Insights. Look at what are the words that people are saying in reviews more often than not. Here is one. Perfect condition was the #1 keyword. So maybe I'm already thinking, what is perfect condition? But I see the people who wrote that gave it 4.4 stars. Another one, the number 5 keyword, pistachio flavor. It was very common, but already without even reading the review, I know something is wrong with the pistachio flavor because it says 2.8 stars. So then we open it up. What were people saying about the perfect condition? Everybody was surprised. Hey, wow, I ordered chocolate and it came in Amazon, but it arrived in perfect condition. What does this tell you? It's important for a customer. They think chocolate is not going to arrive okay. Maybe they think it's going to be melted or smashed. So right away, now you have some insight into the customer, what is important to them. So now, what action do you take? Does this have to do with keywords? This has nothing to do with keywords, nothing to do with SEO, nothing to do with Helium 10, other than this is Helium 10 Review Insights. But this is getting into your customer's mind about what's important. So now, first of all, when you make the product, you make sure it's really packaged well. You want to give this experience to your customers, all right? Also, maybe make that the second or third image. Show, hey, are you worried that your chocolate will not arrive? Perfect. No, look at our packaging. Even before the customer buys it, now you're easing their worry that you know customers have. Do you remember the pistachio flavor had the low rating? Look what it says. I wish it had some more pistachio flavor. The pistachio flavor is very weak. Not enough pistachio flavor. So again, this is not a keyword, but now you know when you're making your product, make it strong pistachio flavor because that's what customers want. Put that in your listing. Let the customer know you're going to get a product with good pistachio flavor. This is thinking about your customer, not thinking about the algorithm or the AI or SEO or keyword rank. Think beyond that. Keyword research, all right, really quick. Do this in 5 minutes. This is a product of a friend of mine's. It's like an egg omelet pan. Now, just really curious, those in the front rows here, what would you think is the top searched keyword for this? If you were like, hey, I'm not going to use a tool, I think I know what is the main keyword. Give me some keywords. What do you think? Egg pan, okay. Anything else? One person said egg pan. That's it? No other ideas? All right, so right away, you see, this is what I mean. We don't always know all the different ways that somebody will search a product. Don't rely on yourself. Look at the data. #1 keyword, tamagoyaki pan. Maybe you've never even heard of that. Tamagoyaki is the Japanese word for like this omelet, all right? Would you have known that without looking at data? You would not have known that. Japanese omelet pan. Tamagoyaki pan made in Japan. These are the top 5 keywords. If you just relied on what you think is the #1 keyword, it would only say egg pan. If you use Amazon AI, it would probably only say egg pan. More keywords. Omelet pan, Korean cookware. This is not a Korean product. It's Japanese. Would you have thought, oh, I need to make sure to have the word Korean cookware? You wouldn't have known that. So again, this is not talking about just Helium 10. This is thinking about the customer. Because this is what customers are typing to buy that product. And if you don't think about the customer, all the ways they can use to find a product, even if it's strange, rectangle pan, Asian cooking tools, what is that? All right, so you have to think about the customer. Here is a launch I just did 2 weeks ago as a test to test, hey, is the honeymoon period alive and working? Yes, 100% is. But this is another thing that you have to worry about. If you're worrying about your customer and how they can find the product, yes, you have to worry also about how Amazon views your product. This was day 1 of my product launch. I know you can't see this. I could almost get 0 impressions for my main launch keywords. I was like, what's happening? Overall, my top 2 keywords, 200 impressions, 500 impressions. That's nothing. And all the other keywords, almost 0 impressions. Sometimes that happens to us. And what it is a relevancy problem. So I know a lot of you use Helium-10, all right? So this is the #1 thing that people who use Helium-10 are not using. And that's using Cerebro to look at the Amazon recommended rank. Amazon recommended rank, this is not from Helium-10. This is directly from Amazon. Amazon has a scoring system. How relevant do they think is a keyword to a product? Only Helium-10 is showing this data, but it's telling you, hey, this is what we think the product is. Now, this product I had, it's socks. On one sock, it says, if you can read this, the other sock, bring me beer. I think that product would be good in Germany as well. But you can picture the product, all right? It's beer socks. That was why my main keywords I was trying to target is like beer gifts, beer socks. But what are the top keywords from Amazon that it thinks is relevant for my product? Beer mug. Mug? That's a cup. Dad mug. Why mug? What is going on with this mug? There is no mug even in my listing. Father Day. What is this keyword? Love you. I mean, this is just random keywords. So this tells me Amazon is confused about my product. If Amazon is confused about my product, I am never going to reach the customer because Amazon is not going to show me for PPC. All right? So what I did was I had to send some traffic to some of these keywords, and then I rechecked the relevancy. Now look at the relevancy of the top keyword. This is just 24 hours later. 24 hours later, the #1 keyword, beer socks. Beer socks, Dad, bring me beer socks, man. Amazon in 24 hours, just from sending some traffic, now they know exactly what my product is. Now I can reach the customer. So day 2 of my PPC, what happened? Do you remember day 1? Total 900 impressions. Day 2, almost all of my keywords had impression, over 4,000 impressions in PPC. So again, think about your customer. You are not going to reach them if you cannot even convince Amazon what is your product. You're never going to be able to reach the customer. So everybody who has Helium-10, you have access to this tool, the Amazon recommended rank. It's the only tool that gives that. This is the #1 thing I think that Helium-10 members are not using. Real quick, make sure to join the Serious Sellers podcast in English, Serious Sellers podcast auf Deutsch with Marcus. If you have an interesting story, we'd love to hear it. So make sure to sign up for this on your phones. And if you want more information about Helium-10, use this QR code. There's a 35% discount for new customers using the code AMZHack35. I said I would try and be quick. I think I was a little bit. Dankeschön. Thank you very much, guys. See you.